Tommy said bad places draws bad people and good places draws good people. And that's what makes Twin Oaks so special. We met on Christmas Eve morning to shoot a few arrows. Bo and Pappy hunted for a little while, and then we shot the bull.
My granddaddy, we always had mules at home, and my granddaddy could took any team of mules we had and just talk to them and made them climb in trees out there. And he never raised his voice, just talked to them. And my daddy could have a hold of them 5 minutes, and they would piece the toe up, they wouldn't know up from down, because he'd be a hollering and a cussing and a whooping and a knocking.
A lot of folks say that country people have a stereotype because of their actions. Most Southern folks just like to think that they're creative. I guess you'll have to decide for yourself.
It's out of 8-inch concrete block to him. He was a big old pet, and he got loose and got across the road over in Robert Williams' field over there, or woods over there, and just went wilder than Georgia Pine. Every time he'd see you, boy, he'd tear out and be gone. Well, I come down the road one day riding my pony, and he was standing out there on the side of the road. Well, I lit out after him. I loped off and caught him. He had big old curly horns running back the lawn.
Yeah.
I drug him back up the house. Well, Daddy told me to go up there and get a log chain out of the shed. And we tied a concrete block to the end of the log chain, bolted the log chain around his horns, yeah. Put him in the lot up there. And next morning I got up, I lit out up there. I wanted to see if he was still there. Well, he was at the back side of the lot. But when he seen me coming, he lit out and broke and run as hard as he could broke. Well, that block hung behind a tree. When he did, he snapped that log chain. Right over the fence he went, and to this day, nobody never laid eyes on him again. I have no idea what happened to him. No idea.
Well, my daddy got the idea that we was going to make a little money, and so he bought 3 little old gilts, little old pigs, all of them females. Brought them to the house, and he raised them, and they got pretty big, and he said, well, I'm going to go sell them now and make a little money. Well, neighbor lived down the road had a hog up there, and he said, Carl, don't do that. You ain't got but 3. He said, I tell you what, bring them up here. We'll breed them. You can have pigs, and then you can sell them. He thought about it, talked to Mama, and said, that sounds like a pretty good idea. So he took them hogs. We didn't have a truck then. He had a little old Jeep. And we fought them pigs for 2 hours. We finally got them held down and got them in the back of that Jeep. And we hauled them up there, and he just opened it up, and they fell out into the pen, and they did their thing. And he said, now, how do I know if they're bred? And that fella said, well, when you get up in the morning, if them pigs are in the mud rolling around, they're bred. If they're out running around in the lot, then they ain't bred. You bring them back. And he said, all right. So he got up next morning. He looked out the window, and them pigs run around everywhere. He said, got me up. Let's go. Let's get them pigs. We fought them and fought them and fought them. Finally got them in the back of that Jeep and took them down there, and they did their thing and brought them back. Next morning, got up. He went to the window and looked out, and they'd run around the pigs. Good gracious, what's it going to take, you know? And so we did that 3 or 4 mornings. Finally, by the end of the week, he was wore out now. And he was getting mad at this point, so woke up, and Mama said, he nudged her and said, Betty, look out that window and see where them pigs are. And she said, I ain't ready to get up yet. He said, get up and look, I'm wore out. She said, tell me, just are they in the lot or are they in the mud? She got up and went to the window and looked out, looking around there for a minute, and he said, well, are they in the mud or are they in the lot? She said, neither one. They loaded up that Jeep and one's blowing a horn.
My wife had an uncle named Skeeter Poole, and he had a real high-pitched voice when he talked. The more he talked, the louder he got. Yeah. If he was sitting there talking to you, in 15 minutes he'd be screaming top of his lungs.
Yeah, I know them belly. Yeah.
So we was talking about electric fence one day, and he said, oh, John Brown, boy, so I ain't never seen a John Brown electric fence I couldn't hang on to. Well, I had one down there around my hog lot that was an old weed burner. One of those, if a weed got against it, it'd burn it too. You know, it wouldn't short out, it'd burn it too. And I was telling him about that, and he said, anyway, we ended up down there one day, and I said, I'm scared to see you. Reach over and see about that electric fence. He said, let me show you, boy. He reached over and he grabbed that thing like it. When he did, he said, John Brown, boy, turn that thing off. Of course, I got tickled and I couldn't get to it. turned it off, I thought I would absolutely die. Oh, Lord have mercy. My daddy was, which he was crazy son of a anyway. You'd have to know to appreciate him. You wouldn't appreciate him when you know him. But he bought an old cow to sale one time, and stockyard. We brought her home. We let her out of the truck. She went just as far to the backside of the place she could go, just wilder than a deer.
Yeah.
Well, she got back there and she had a calf. That calf was just as wild as she was. Every time you'd get in sight of them, it'd be gone. So we tried every way in the world to get her up, and there wasn't no, just wasn't no way. So Johnny Manning, them over had a bunch of horses. He called Johnny Manning, asked him, could they come over and rope her? I said, yeah. So they did. They roped her and that calf both, drug her up there to the barn. He had a little half-ton pickup truck with sides on it. Backed it up there to the loading chute. They drug that cow and calf in that pen and took the ropes off of them. And they come up that loading chute and they hit the back of that truck right up over the cab, right over the hood, and we never slowed down. Oh, my daddy just having a cussing fit.
Boy, don't you know it.
Well, they lit out on the horses, caught him again. Well, he got his piece of half-inch pipe crawling up on that truck. He's going to stop them this time. When they hit the bed of that truck, he never slowed them down. He never slowed them down with that pipe. Well, I had a great uncle that lived across the road. Boy, my daddy was just having conniption fits for this time. He killed him. He'd had a gun right there. He just shot both of them. But my great uncle walked over and he said, Charlie, I'll keep them cows back at the truck for $25. Old man said, I'll give you $100, blah, 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 to keep them in there. And so Manning boys had done caught him again. And they drug him up there and he went around there to where Skip old burnt motor oil. Got him a jar of burnt motor oil, walked over and threw it at the bed of that truck. Was a metal bed in the back of the truck. They come up and they hit that bed down. They couldn't get up. We got the stockyard. We had to throw sawdust in there where they get up out of that truck.
Ain't a bad Christmas gift.
That's right.
She got her winter coat on. She's all thick, ain't she? Her hair just as fuzzy.
Hey, drug her out and was standing there playing with his grunt, calling her around, look, there's one bigger her standing there looking at him.
Really? Why didn't you shoot her?
She jumped the fence. We killed 2 last weekend.
How many have you killed?
5.
5?
First year hunting, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Ain't bad.
Don't get spoiled.
I know.
Next year you'll have a lot of sleep.
You try and take credit for it too, ain't you? You taught him everything he knows.
Well, yeah.